Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the series of advanced tactical play. And this is the third and last video in this small series. And again, I want to put your focus on first identifying what are the weaknesses in the opponent's position, and then try to understand how to exploit them. You have 3 minutes again, and we will discuss it straight afterwards. So let's go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we will straight dive into the solution of this one. And first, we will try to identify all the weaknesses together. So, what's actually weak in black's position? Are there any weak pawns here? Yes, you could argue there are some, but they don't really matter here. Black is already a pawn up, and white will not win the game by purely collecting pawns. There are some more serious weaknesses in this position, and this is quite a common pattern when we have this material constellation of opposite color bishops in the middle game. The side which has a light square bishop has a lot more control on the light squares, but struggles to defend the dark squares. And the biggest problem in black's position, and that's what I would call a weakness, is this whole complex of dark squares. Black is incredibly weak there, and white might start a very crushing attack on the dark squares. The bishop on b6 is already excellent, but we need some more attackers. So once you have spotted this, the move might not be that difficult. We can activate our strongest piece, the queen here, immediately threatening to enter and then checkmate on d8. And since black is not very well coordinated here, he cannot really do anything about it. The best try is to block the d-file with bishop d7. Note that you cannot do the same with the rook because there is queen f8 with immediate mate. So bishop d7 is more or less forced. We give a check. The king needs to go to the corner. And already here we see, okay, white is making progress, activating the queen and playing against the king. Even if you have not seen further than this, it's fine because we understood we need to start an attack on the dark squares. From here, there are different ways to continue and get a winning position, and we will examine both of them, but we will start with the more natural, which is in my opinion queen c7. Threatening mate here, and basically there is no defense except playing rook f8, which costs a whole piece and is of course winning for white. But there's another way, but I wouldn't recommend it in practice because you need to calculate way more to move the bishop here and then try to checkmate here also, or come in here later. But things are more complicated. Black, for example, can try to set up some counter threats, and white is still winning, but needs to go passive with rook f1. Still it's winning, but in such situation, things are not entirely clear maybe, because the king could run to c8. Of course it looks good, but it's not yet crushing and we are 2 pawns down. Instead, there would still be a way to win a piece, but it's much later than in the main line here. And after rook f8, we cannot take the rook, of course, because the queen would drop. And we get a piece, but in much less favorable circumstances than previously. So I would recommend just going queen c7 straight, and black is just very lost here. So that's it for this position. What you should take from it is that also, some quiet moves can attack weaknesses, and weaknesses can also be squares or whole color complexes, and you should be reminded of that, especially when you have a superiority on one of the colors, for example, this time on the dark squares. So I hope you found this instructive, could get something from it. If so, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.